Could Toshi hypothetically become the next Pepe? I think so, in a sense that I could very well view this as being the next big meme coin. Now, even though I'm not necessarily saying it's going to copy Pepe exactly again, it just kind of gives me that vibe of an up and coming meme coin that could hypothetically be something special, even though nothing I say is financial advice. 2 cents for this born is still my price target for Toshi. And here's the thing, I'm going to explain why I think Toshi is very similar to Pepe, because when we take a look at Pepe, right, for the longest time possible, everyone was bullish on Shiba Inu, of course, and Dogecoin. Those were like the two mainstays, right? Dogecoin being the Batman, Shiba Inu being the Robin. We all knew that. But then people, they were yearning for what could be the next big thing. They were looking for the next big thing, quite essentially. And Pepe came along. Pepe was kind of like the wow factor. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, this could be the next one. It's very interesting. It's cool. And it's a bit different because usually people were accustomed to seeing these dog theme meme coins, and now they see something like Pepe. They're like, okay, this is something cool. I get it. Toshi is not necessarily the most revolutionary meme coin of all time, but it does give me these Pepe vibes because much like Pepe, the community is very strong and very passionate, right? Much like Pepe, it's very unique, it's very interesting. And also, last but not least, much like Pepe, Toshi is listed in some pretty good exchanges. Now, of course, Pepe has the popularity as of right now, but it kind of reminds me of an up-and-coming Pepe. Now, let's think about this, right? Why is Toshi very unique, much like Pepe? Take into consideration how Toshi is named after Brian Armstrong's cat. Brian Armstrong is the co-founder of Coinbase, and then Toshi is a meme coin on the Base network, which is Coinbase's layer 2 network. So again, I think you get how this all works here, right? You know, the cycle, I would say, like this Venn diagram or something like that. Whatever the case may be, or whatever analogy people want to assume when it comes to what I just said. However, even besides that, when I take a look at something like Toshi again, it's very unique in that sense, much like Pepe. It has that it factor. It has that unique nature, I would say. And when it comes to Toshi, it's not completely useless. I would argue that when it comes to Pepe, it doesn't seem like it's really trying in terms of putting that effort, because when you take a look at Toshi, there's something called Toshi Tools. Now, this will help quite essentially guide someone towards their journey to be building on the Base network. Again, Coinbase's layer 2 network. Now, quite essentially, Toshi Tools, these tools will, include, right? Or they include, I should say, when it comes to something like this, again, a token locker, a liquidity locker, a token launcher, and even a launchpad as well. And not to mention, there's something called Toshi Mart, which is basically, the way you take a look at it in simple terms, it's a meme coin launchpad. So basically anyone can, or should I say, it allows individuals, right, to launch their meme coin, I should say, or launch a meme coin. So I think that it's pretty cool. It doesn't see the best adoption, of course. Like, I'm going to say that it's not going to see the best adoption. I mean that. But it doesn't really matter, because when you take a look at something like a meme coin, this is not a prerequisite. You know, sometimes when we take like classes in college and they say, hey, there's a prerequisite, you know what I mean? So the way to take a look at it is that when it comes to, a meme coin, let's say having a good use case, that's not a good prerequisite, or should I say it's not necessary, but then it shows that they put effort. It's like wrapping a gift, you know what I mean? Like, sure, if someone gave this person like an iPad and they didn't wrap it, they're like, hey, here's an iPad. I'm pretty sure the person would be happy anyways, because of course it's an iPad, right? It's cool. But then at the same time, if someone wrapped it, let's say it's like a gift or whatever the case may be, like a present, the way to take a look at it is that it shows effort. It shows that, hey, even though wrapping this gift, like me, let's say I wrap this gift, it's not going to change the, performance of the iPad. Like, it's not going to make the iPad faster or, do some random thing. Like, no, right? It's just wrapping it, but then it shows the effort. It shows that people care. You know what I mean? So I think that when it comes to Toshi, it does have those boxes ticked. It shows that they have effort there. Not to mention, when we take a look at something like Toshi again, right? It is listed on Coinbase. Now, this is special right here because Coinbase is one of the biggest exchanges out there, and it's only logical, right? People say that, hey, when it comes to Toshi, it's like the mascot of the Base network, and it's kind of becoming that. As of right now, people still would arguably say that Brett, right? Brett, another meme coin on the Base network, is arguably number one, they say. But when it comes to Toshi, in terms of the hype, in terms of the fans, in terms of the community, it's heading up there, in my opinion. It's beginning to kind of, I would say, chase it in a sense. I'm not sure. The exact analogy, but I'm just saying it's kind of becoming sort of the next big thing on the base network. And if it does overtake bread, it really wouldn't surprise me whatsoever because as of right now, Toshi, despite the price pullback, is beginning to gain that momentum. And I see that, right? And before it had this dump, the momentum was even stronger. But then, as equally as things did kind of become a little bit, I would say not in a good mood because of the price dump, I think equally it's going to change when things do go up again. Because again, sometimes in the world of cryptocurrencies, we sometimes in some cases see as quickly as things do go down, sometimes in other cases, it's as equally as when they went up as well. So the way I view it is that I'm still staying patient. I'm in this anyways. So I'm still going to believe in Toshi. And usually we do know that altcoins typically is a worst case scenario. They peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. The last Bitcoin halving event happened back in April. So 18 months from then is actually around October this year. So I think if anything, I'm going to pay attention to near the end of 2025 because historically, this has been a time frame where altcoins peak as a worst case scenario. There's no guarantee because each cycle is different. I totally understand that. And as of right now, we do have the most amount of crypto owners ever before in history, according to Crypto.com research, at over 600 million. So I get the dynamics is going to be a little bit different this time around, but I'm still going to pay attention to that nonetheless. And imagine once Bitcoin goes back to $100,000. And let's say things do start having a good recovery, then 150,000 and 200,000. Really, the sky's the limit at that point. Because I do believe that beyond a certain point, the growth for Toshi could very well be exponential. I think, let's say Toshi reaches the price of half a cent. At that point, people are going to be like, oh, wow, a cent is a 2x, and then 2 cents is a 2x from there. So the way to take a look at it is that better days are ahead, and I'm not giving up when it comes to Toshi, and at the price of 2 cents, that still wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I do view this as somewhat, again, being the next PEPE in a sense that I feel like the community, the drive, the passion, the exchange listings kind of reminds me of like, an up-and-coming PEPE. And think about this, right? Back in 2021, let's say around March, was the sentiment the best? I would arguably say no. Did anyone ever predict? I'm pretty sure there are, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, did like 95% of the crypto owners at that time, did they foresee, right, Dogecoin or Shiba Inu a number of months later reaching in the tens of billions of market cap? I didn't think that was really the general consensus. You know what I mean? If that was, I'm pretty sure that 99% probably of the crypto owners at that time would have probably FOMO'd into Shiba Inu and Dogecoin, but it seemed like that wasn't the case. Of course, there was Dogecoin and Shiba Inu fans, but I'm just saying, like, the large majority of crypto owners at that time, I didn't think knew that was going to happen. So the way to take a look at it is that as of right now, it kind of reminds me of that March time. Things were a little bit boring, but I think better days are ahead. And again, Toshi at the price of 2 cents, I don't see why not, because if it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $8 billion, which isn't too bad. We've seen, again, Shiba Inu reach around 40 billion, Dogecoin reach over 80 billion. This was years ago, back in 2021. So I don't think it's too much to ask for. And again, Toshi could hypothetically be the next PEPE, in my opinion, in terms of the hype and reputation. However, only time will tell. But again, 2 cents wouldn't surprise me whatsoever during this bull run. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. Greatly appreciate it. It's Willie the Captain, and I'll catch you all on the next one. I'm a peace. Bye.